Good, happy Thursday morning to you. We're off to a good start this morning. I've always got to gauge the morning first, whether it's a rough start, a late start, a good start. It's a good start today, and I'm happy. It's a good. It's not that we're not that late. We've got almond butter. Why am I so excited? Because I love almond butter, and we finally perfected it. Finally. Are you happy about that?
But we can't make it until the new blender picture.
Yeah, my blender picture's not working right, which is not good. So I've got another one coming in.
Are you serious?
So, but it'll go. It'll do it. It'll do the job.
Picture.
It'll do the job. So you didn't know that?
No. Number 4. Number 4.
Nick's making a smoothie this morning. He's trying to, and
No, it's good. What? Kamu kamu.
good. Yep, it's good.
Vanilla.
All right. So we're gonna have barley and millet combination for our cereal. 'Cause I didn't have quite enough barley, so I put a little bit of millet in there. So, and Olivia says it's good with the oat milk. You like it with the oat milk. Now, Olivia, tell me, should we strain the oat milk or should we just leave it like it is?
I don't really see a difference.
No? Oh, good. And Caroline, she's got her apple. Yeah, have you finished your apple, sweetie pie?
No.
All right, good girl.
Yeah,
Yes, you do. You have a ponytail. I've got a couple of comments from my almond butter and jelly video about.
I fall down.
Are you okay? About the jelly. And you know what? I wanted to talk about that yesterday, and I forgot all about it. I guess my sandwich isn't perfect because if it was perfect. Okay, Catherine. Shh. Wait. Shh.
Mom, we're gonna run the blender.
Can you wait just a minute? I was gonna talk about it yesterday. Okay, what was I gonna say?
It's not perfect.
Oh yes, my sandwich. It wasn't perfect because I didn't have any homemade jelly on there. And you know, that's one thing that makes me sad is that we're not out in the country growing our own blueberry bushes and raspberries and fruit trees, apricots and whatever. We're not growing our own trees. Now that would be the perfect sandwich. Homemade almond butter with homemade bread and homemade jam. That would be delicious. But somebody was asking me, you know, we do the next best thing. We use Tree of Life. This is great, but we do a lot of strawberry and apricot, but that we ran out of. And this has no added sugar. There's no added sugar in these. So it's just it's all organic. We do the organic with no added sugar. Okay, shh. No added sugar.
All it has is...
So it has grape juice, grape puree, fruit pectin, ascorbic acid, and citric acid. So I mean it's not the worst. But so we don't ever buy. I do have one in the pantry because Daddy bought it. Almost never, unless Daddy's shopping and he can't find anything else, buy any kind of preserves or jelly with sugar in it. And another good brand besides this Tree of Life, we get this at our local Woodman's. Oh, no. Yeah, Woodman's has it too. Fruitful Yield. But also Trader Joe's has a really good fruit spread that has no added sugar. It's just fruit. And that's really good. We get that when we go to Trader Joe's, but we don't go there anymore very often.
Because we don't eat.
So, but yeah, the best thing would be for me to make some, and you know what, I don't have a lot of experience in making that kinds of stuff, but I am certainly open to learn. But we need to get out into the country and get some trees going, some blueberry bushes and raspberries. Right, guys? Strawberries. That would be delicious. So we have been so busy today. It's almost 5 o'clock. And I haven't even done any vlogging except for this morning. But right now we're going to try to... No, I didn't. Nope, I didn't. I didn't do it.
So how long devotional?
We're going to... Yeah, maybe. It's going to be a short vlogging day today, folks. I'm sorry. But maybe I'll think of something really... Maybe I'll think of something really good to talk to you guys about later. But anyways, we're going to try to get at least these bathrooms done today because, you know, Thursday is usually cleaning up day. But we had to do some shopping because I haven't done any real grocery shopping since last Wednesday. Curtis did a little bit the other day, but not much. So
and I'm drinking glass
water bottle, yes.
I'm not going to break it.
So we are going to go, the girls and I are going to do this bathroom, one bathroom. Nick's going to do the other bathroom. And then we're going to let them take a break. What happened to your face there, sweetie pie?
I had the boot and I didn't know where it come from.
You don't know where it came from?
Mm-hmm.
No, I wonder what happened.
I usually hit her cheek that time. Oh, I know. One time me and Gillian were walking out and she hit her cheek on the side of the door.
Oh, she doesn't remember that though. But you remember it. Interesting. We got to work a little bit better on keeping that thumb out of your mouth. This evening didn't go so well, sweetie pie. Okay.
But yesterday did.
Yesterday, yeah. So, but we know you can do it.
She went 2 days and 1 night without sucking her thumb, which is good.
Good.
Pretty good. She didn't go the whole day.
Yeah, that's the night after her birthday. She got the tape that day, Wednesday.
Wednesday,
and
yesterday.
last night.
Oh, right. That's true.
So she went 2 nights, 1 day.
Right, that's true. So, how are you doing, sweetie pie?
Great.
Great. How you doing, Pumpkin?
Good.
That's good. You guys ready to sleep?
I think I spent a little bit too much time on that phone.
I think you did, yes.
Karen didn't take good.
How are you doing, Catherine?
Just in bed.
I said, how are you doing?
Good.
Good. You girls want to say anything to our friends?
1, 2,
3.
live well and be strong.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye.
Boy.
Mom.
I said, boy, you ready to go to sleep?
Yes. Gotta put my covers up.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be cozy.
Yep. Do you have any thoughts on the day? Boy.
Mom.
I said, boy, you ready to go to sleep?
Yes. Gotta put my covers up.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be cozy.
Yep. Do you have any thoughts on the day?
No, it was a pretty useful day.
We didn't do much. We didn't do much vlogging today.
No.
You didn't do much either. Boy.
Mom.
I said, boy, you ready to go to sleep?
Yes. Gotta put my covers up.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be cozy.
Yep. Do you have any thoughts on the day?
No, it was a pretty useful day.
We didn't do much. We didn't do much vlogging today.
No.
You didn't do much either.
I didn't do none.
You didn't do any?
Yeah.
Say I didn't do any. Proper grammar.
I did not do any.
Do you want to say goodnight to our friends?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Live well and be strong. Adios.
Well, there's no tea today because it got late on me again. I got myself busy and got carried away with the time. So I'm going to just drink some water so that I can get to bed. We didn't do much vlogging at all today. For one thing, when we're shopping, Woodman's and Fruitful Yield, both of them have told me that they don't allow me to videotape in the store. And so I just let it go, and I thought, well, I'll find time to do some vlogging later. And later came, and then things started happening in the house, and it's just been one of those days that you just don't want to see. I mean, it wasn't all that bad, but there just really wasn't anything for me to share, and really, I just really didn't feel like picking up the camera during the day. There was just other things that were taking my time. So I got to thinking after I put the kids to bed, I said, I want to be able to share something today, and maybe this will give me an opportunity to spend a little more time to have a little chit-chat with you guys and talk about something that maybe I had planned on talking about before and just haven't had a chance to do it yet. So I got to praying about it and started thinking about our toy video that I did a few days ago. And when I mentioned in the toy video that there were some things that I wanted to talk to you about in another video because it would just take up too much time then, and that was about why we don't have like toy figures like superhero figures, Batman and Spider-Man and all of those. So I thought, well, today I'll just take the opportunity to do that. And then I got to thinking about it and thinking about, oh man, there's so much to talk about and so much to share. So I got on my knees, you guys, and I prayed, wholeheartedly that God would help me and lead me and give me the words to share with you tonight, because this is going to get into more than I realized to begin with when I was thinking about it. But these are some things that I've really been wanting to share with you anyways from my heart. And I'm just trying to find the right time and the right way to say it, because, this is going to touch a lot of people, and for a lot of people, it's going to really probably hit pretty hard, because we care about our children, we love our children, and we want them to be happy. Like I said before, we want what's best for them. We want them to have fun. First, I'm going to start off with the figures, the toys. Like if you haven't seen my toy video yet, I encourage you to go ahead and do that, and I'll put a link in the description below to that video. And this is kind of like part 2 of that video. So why don't we have the superhero figures that the kids play with these days? And for one thing, there's this whole hero and villain type thing that goes with these superheroes, with Superman and Batman, and I don't know what else the kids are playing with these days, but there's always the bad guy and the good guy, and really they're taking the place of God and Satan. And my idea is that if you're a Christian, you want to teach your children about who the real hero is, and that is God. He's our superhero, and we don't need to replace him with cartoony figures and animation and excitement and suspense and adventure. Because when you do that, then you take away from the ability to hear God's voice. If your children are constantly into all this adventure, they're not going to be calm, and they're not going to be listening for that still small voice that God so often uses to speak to us. And I wrote some notes down, and if you see me looking down, that's why. I want to miss as little as possible, because I have a feeling I'm going to miss something. And if I do, if you have questions, feel free to ask. Another thing that I want to talk about was the books, before I go any further. And I did a video on that too, which is really neat, why I do all these daily videos, that I can refer back to some of the videos that I've already done, that you might be able to get a better idea of what I'm talking about. And I did a video on what kinds of books that we read, and I will also put a link to that video in the description below. This little kitty cat's trying to get on my lap. You're such a distraction. Stay back there. Stay back there. And I do want to touch on it just a little bit here too, because this will further what else I want to talk about. And when it comes to the books, it's very important what your children are reading. And I didn't really consider it so much until somebody else, a friend of ours, had brought it to our attention when Nick was little. Because when I grew up, I read everything, like the classics, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, all the Disney classics, Clifford, the big red dog, Winnie the Pooh. We read all of those things. So when Nick was born, a friend of mine from work had given me a bunch of books for him to read, and they were all the classics, the things that I had read. And I didn't think anything about them, even Critters, Berenstain Bears. I loved those, and I said, wow, Nick's got a really good little library full of these books. And I didn't think anything about it. I read him the books. He enjoyed them. We had a nice time together, reading together. And then my friend, she's an elderly lady, and we'd actually lived with her for a bit. And she saw me reading these books to Nick, and she was really concerned. And she sat down with me one day, and she said, I'm concerned about the books that Nicholas is reading, that you're reading to him. And she pointed out the fact that a lot of the books characterize animals as humans. They give animals human characteristics. All of the children, not all of them, but so many of the children's books and stories, cartoons, have animals that have human character traits. Like they walk, they talk, they wear clothing, they live as humans. Like Franklin, the turtle, Winnie the Pooh, the Berenstain Bears, the Critters, Babar the elephant, even. We can just keep going on and on and on. And I thought, well, what's wrong with that? But when she told me that, she said, God created us in His image. So when we are applying our human character traits to animals, we're undermining what God had created in us. And the fact that we are created in His image, it really goes pretty deep when you think about it. And I'm like, wow, I never really thought about that. So she said, she brought a few books that she had. She said, this is a sample of some of the books that are better for Nicholas to read. And actually what they were stories about animals in nature, real stories. They were kind of, they were fun stories though. There were stories about a particular man that had been in nature and had just observed the animals in nature and had funny little stories to share about their little antics and the things that went about their day. And I thought, wow, that would be interesting to share with them. So I started reading him them instead, and then I started really getting convicted that she was right. That when you give them more pure things to read, their minds stay focused, and then they're more ready to hear God's voice. Another thing about books and movies, these animated books and movies and cartoons, is the fact that the storylines are not true. You know, it's fiction, it's fables. And it's so important for us to teach our children from stories that are true. Because if you're constantly teaching them or sharing with them stories that are not true, that are constantly fiction, you know, that's not true, and that's not true, and that's not true, then they're so used to hearing and learning about stories that are not true, and then you go to the Bible and you say, well, this is a true story. You know, they're less likely to believe that what you're reading from the Bible is true if they're constantly reading fables and novels and fiction that are not true. And I know that you guys are probably like, yeah, I have a hard time believing that. You know, if you teach your children that something's not true and teach them that it's true, they should believe you that the Bible is true. But, you know, it's hard for little minds to try to understand the difference between fiction and reality. Another thing that I want to address, and this is a big one because so many people love Disney, but there are so many issues with Disney and their cartoons that I'm just going to touch the surface right now. One thing is the princesses. When you look at all these princesses, you see how they're dressed, and it's pretty provocative. They have the large breasts and, you know, the big eyes. Another problem with princesses is that there's a lot of rebellion in the storyline when it comes to all these princesses, especially in the Disney stories. They're always rebelling against their parents or somebody that they're supposed to be obeying. And we don't want to teach our children rebellion. Even in the Frozen, you know, I haven't myself seen the Frozen movie, but I've heard a lot about it. I've seen like clips and bits and pieces, and there's supposed to be a story that is supposed to teach your children a positive character trait, but at the same time, there's still rebellion in that story. There's a ministry called Little Light Studios, and they put together an excellent movie that really explains more about what I'm trying to share with you when it comes to animated movies and cartoons and things. And that movie is called The Magic Kingdom. It's a full-length video on cartoons and animated movies. So I strongly encourage you to go over onto their YouTube channel and look at that trailer, The Magic Kingdom. I really feel like God is calling me to really share these things with you because, you know, if my friend hadn't shared with me, I wouldn't have delved into it any deeper. And, you know, I really feel like my children have a better chance at having a closer walk with the Lord because they can open their hearts to Him a little more easily and hear His voice because they don't have all that stuff in their head. I'd like to read for you from a little book called Counsels for the Church. All should guard the senses lest Satan gain victory over them, for these are the avenues of the soul. You will have to become a faithful sentinel over your eyes, ears, and all your senses if you would control your mind and prevent vain and corrupt thoughts from staining your soul. The power of grace alone can accomplish this most desirable work. Satan and his angels are busy creating a paralyzing condition of the senses so that the cautions, warnings, and reproofs shall not be heard, or if heard, that they shall not take effect upon the heart and reform the life. We have to guard every avenue to our soul. So it's whatever we hear, whatever we see. We all grew up with cartoons, and so many of us, as I did, think that it's really no big deal, when in fact it really is a big deal. And Satan is going to he's going to weave his way in any way he can into the hearts of our children. And it's our job as parents to make sure that he doesn't do that, and that he doesn't gain the victory over our children. That God is victorious, and that our children will one day make it home to heaven along with us. So I'm gonna let it go for now. I really feel like I haven't really fully touched on the subject. Please, if you will, look at that video from the Little Light Studios, and prayerfully consider what your children are playing with, what they're reading, what they're watching on TV, and know that God cares very much for your children and wants what's the very best for them. I love you guys. I really do. I care a lot about you guys and ladies. And I'm so happy that our channel is really growing because of you. And because of Christy, you Organized Mom. I really appreciate what you've done. And having all of your viewers, or so many of your viewers, come and visit us over here. And we'll plan on seeing you tomorrow. Have a good evening. And don't forget to live well and be strong. Bye-bye.